Segment 2. The Road Through Empire. Following Mummius, a Roman senator, is perhaps best known for the defeat of the Greek kingdom of Achaemenid in 146 BCE. This victory allowed him to plunder the rich city of Corinth and add it to the list of Roman conquests. However, we do unhear about Mummius' victory solely from the grand pronouncements of historians or the triumphant statues erected in his honor. We also glimpse it through the records of road construction. Among them, a road that stretched from the port city of Century near Corinth to the important inland town of Sicily. Today, this road is gone, lost to the sands of time. But thanks to inscriptions found along its path, we get a unique view of Mummius and his contribution to the infrastructure of empire. Let's travel back in time to follow his route. Our starting point is Century. Here at the coast, ships had brought Mummius and his army to the shores of Corinth after its fall. Now, right here, where the sea breeze mingles with the smell of fresh-cut stone, we can picture the buzz of activity. Soldiers unload supplies, pack animals are given rest, and officers give orders to architects and engineers. With Corinth secured, the victors begin the task of rebuilding. It was critical to ensure the city was not only a trophy, but a productive part of the empire. They set to work laying the foundations of the road. We see them at work, not in marble halls or during fierce battles, but in these precise and detailed accounts of surveying the land, determining distances, and marking boundaries. They measure out straight paths and level the terrain. The exact methods used would have been taught to them in engineering schools. Every step is calculated. Every bend and curve is precisely charted. Once the planning is complete, the work of moving thousands of cubic meters of dirt and rock begins. We can only imagine the rumble of picks against stone, the shouts of workers passing along heavy baskets, and the sweat-drenched muscles straining under the sun. But even this labor is planned. They consider the strength of men and animals, the slope of hills, and the resistance of soil. The road begins to rise, stretching out like the spine of a beast that will carry travelers across the bones of the Acroan countryside. From Centriad, we follow the road that bears Mummius's name. We pass through farmlands and villages, each place surveyed and recorded in writing. The names of towns and landmarks are inscribed into stone markers. Some of these boundary stones are adorned with simple symbols, like a crook and staff representing a shepherd, or a pair of crossed rods signifying a nearby spring. Others bear the image of a hand reaching out, offering aid or hospitality. These silent sentinels stand guard over the road, marking its path and ensuring it cannot be erased. After several miles, we reach our destination, the city of Sicily. As we enter, the road likely leads us past civic buildings, temples, and public spaces. The end of the road becomes a grand entrance into the heart of the city. The inscription here would declare the road's purpose and any gifts bestowed by Mummius. The people of Sicyon would have gathered to meet their returning general, the road itself a testament to his achievements. Their applause echoes through the ages, carried on the wind that whispers across the ruins of Corinth and Sicyon. In the absence of monuments or statues, this road stands as Mummius's most enduring legacy. But even in its absence, we still sense the presence of this thoroughfare. It lives on in the subtle curves of the landscape, the faint outlines of ancient stones, and in the written records which preserve the name of a road and the story of a general. In the footsteps of soldiers. Segment 3. The roads remain, tracing the traces of travel through the centuries. Countless civilizations have risen and fallen. Many left behind tangible marks of their existence, including roads. In modern Greece, we can walk sections of the ancient Roman road near Corinth and Athens. The terrain feels much the same as it did 2,000 years ago. The area around Athens has retained its character despite the passage of time. What we see today may not be exactly what our ancestors walked on, but archaeologists believe the current ground level matches that of the Roman period. If we were to remove the top layer of soil and examine the layers below, we would likely discover artifacts and animal bones deposited over the centuries. Perhaps we would even come across human remains, a reminder of the sacrifices made to build and maintain these roads. These routes, however, are only two among thousands. Sadly, most of these roads have disappeared. Nature, time, and the whims of later rulers have erased many traces. Some were deliberately dismantled to hinder invaders, while others became buried under new settlements. Even so, archaeology keeps revealing fascinating discoveries. In England, farmers ploughing fields regularly stumble upon Roman coins and fragments of pottery along the Fosse Way, a road linking Exeter to Lincoln. These everyday finds help paint a vivid picture of daily life 2,000 years ago. In Germany, a team of archaeologists investigated an ancient roadway near Morgenchakum, now known as Mainz. They found it was not a single road, but a network of streets branching off from a central square. They discovered household items, animal bones, and a brooch indicating that people lived alongside the road. In the Czech Republic, a team used modern technology to map a Roman road near the city of České Budějovice. Using ground-penetrating radar, they identified a well-preserved road that existed before 100 AD. They also discovered a mysterious structure they believe could be a Roman fort. Each new discovery helps us better understand the Romans' extensive road system and its importance to their daily lives. It's remarkable that even after 2,000 years, these roads continue to surprise us. And as long as we keep exploring, we're sure to learn even more about the Romans' incredible engineering feats and the daily lives of the people who traveled on their roads. Segment 4. Not all walked together. The lives, those who stayed behind, and those who traveled by chariot, compared to the soldier walking endless miles. Life for others within the empire seemed dramatically different. While he felt the sun's harsh glare and breathed in dust, others enjoyed the relative luxury of staying put. Take, for instance, a wealthy landowner. His days are structured around the rhythms of seasons and nature, not the demands of a march. His world is measured in the growth of crops, the cycles of planting and harvest, He tends vineyards, olives, manages herds. His laborers do the heavy lifting, allowing him to live a life of leisure. His responsibilities, though many, are far removed from the soldier's burden. The worst road he treads is likely that from his villa to the town council. Still, there were journeys that took him from the quiet of his estate. Perhaps he travels to the capital to petition for laws favorable to landowners, or attends the gladiator games in Rome. Such trips, though different from the soldier's unending marches, were not without their own trials. The coastal road to Athens winds along the shore, but it's not all smooth sailing. There are treacherous rocks, sudden storms, and the ever-present threat of piracy. Even a well-to-do merchant traveling by sea risks losing not only his goods, but his life. So while the soldier endures the weariness of the road, others face the hazards of sea and the perils of staying put. The farmer, for example, doesn't just nurture crops, but constantly contends with the threat of raids. When a military force is on the move, garrisons are typically stationed along roads to protect travelers from bandits and marauders. But this protection isn't foolproof. Attacks can still happen, turning a journey, which should be safe, into a nightmare. Even for those who travel by chariot, the speed and convenience cannot always prevent accidents. Accidents and breakdowns can leave travelers stranded, exposed, and vulnerable. The fast chariots used by the elite troops of cataphracts have 4 wheels, making them more susceptible to overturning. But whether riding in a chariot or on horseback, the traveler has more control over their journey than the soldier. The wealthy patron, Flavius Arrian, who traveled extensively, wrote about riding on horseback and driving chariots. He describes the jolt of riding over uneven terrain, the swish of the whip as it cracks, and the hum of the wheels as they roll. His writings, though tinged with the nostalgia of looking back, reveal the reality of travel. Life for the soldier was different. The march was relentless, mile after mile, with little variation until the final resting place for the day was reached. The soldier wasn't merely a cog in the military machine, but a human being, beaten by the elements, tired from the strain of carrying heavy loads. He, too, had dreams, hopes, and fears. And when he marched, it wasn't just his feet that moved, but his entire life. In the annals of history, we often focus on the leaders, the victories, and the strategies. But it's the stories of ordinary people like this soldier who truly bring the past to life. His tale isn't one of valor or conquest, but of quiet endurance. His march was a testament to the invisible backbone of empire. Just as the road stretched on, so does the fascination of ancient history. What's your favorite aspect of the ancient world? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel and see you next time.